Today was the first day we had refs. Yeah, we scrimmaged a little bit yesterday, but we up and down. But yeah, today was the first day we had refs.
Always good to kind of get the guys in that sort of situation for the first time.
It is,
Whistles blowing.
Yeah, because our coaches are coaches; they're not officials. So it's nice to have officials here that call it hopefully like they see it, and we have to understand what's a foul, what's not a foul, what's a good screen, what's an illegal screen, what's how do you deal with a call that goes against you, all the things that the emotions that go into basketball, you got to be able to handle. And officials are a part of that, so it's good. We're going to do it more this year than we ever have. Again, it's an off-season thing that we talked about as a staff. I thought about we need to get that.
Talk a little bit about the new. Talk about a little bit that new licensed shooting. I was talking to Tori about it. Seems like that's a pretty cool new thing you guys.
Yeah, I've thought about for years, and it's just a matter of look. I want our players to tell me who's a good shooter and who deserves to shoot threes. I'm not going to tell them, and I think a lot of times players take things personal. And if you tell a kid, hey, I don't want you shooting a three, they kind of look at you funny, like, what do you mean, coach? They all think they can shoot. So, hey, if you can, prove it. And if we have certain numbers they have to hit between November and November 10th. It's an ongoing thing. If they hit the numbers and they've proven that they can make those shots on a consistent basis, I'll let them shoot them. If they haven't proven it, they don't get to shoot them. So they're telling me who's shooting threes. I'm not telling them who's shooting threes. And it's very objective. There's no subjectivity involved whatsoever. There's no agenda on my part. And so we'll see how it all works out.
3 days off now.
Yeah.
I don't remember you doing it. Maybe you've done it before.
No, we've done it. We've done it every year, just different parts of the year. Sometimes we do it right before practice starts. Just the way the calendar worked this year. We had some home football games I wanted to leave open for recruiting opportunities. This was the weekend that made the most sense. I like to do it here early October, just for the kids that are out of state. We talk about it when we recruit them. Hey, we're going to give you 1 weekend before the season really gets cranked up, even though our practice has obviously started, to get home, see your family, because it's now the grind begins, and these guys hopefully aren't done until March with basketball, and so it's a long season. This year we're going to get like 2.5 days for Christmas, so these kids are away from home a lot. So not everybody's going home, but the ones that want to and can will, and we'll come back and hook it up on Tuesday. So it also gives them a chance. First 6 practices, there's some bumps, there's some bruises, there's some guys that maybe aren't in as good a shape physically as they need to be. It gives them a chance to kind of figure out where they're at. They can use these 3 or 4 days to get extra conditioning in. If the guy's bumped and bruised a little bit, he can get extra treatment, and then we'll come back Tuesday. Now it's, there won't be any more weekends like this.
When was the last time you had a team that the rotation was this wide open?
It's been a while.
I mean, I'm looking at 10, 11 guys out there.
There are.
Who's going to be? I won't say the word starters.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. I mean, November 10th, we're going to have to trot 5 guys out there, and we're going to have a rotation kind of in our mind. And right now, it is wide open, and I like that. It makes our practices competitive and gives everybody a chance. Like
I was going to say, does that put a little pressure on the older guys and then a little hope to the younger guys
Absolutely.
At the same time?
Absolutely, yeah. And look, the film room doesn't lie. We're doing a lot more scrimmaging. Again, that's where the Italy trip really helped, because we're still in the habit forming and drill mode first part of practice, but now we're getting a chance to get up and down a little bit more than we would at the same time if we didn't have those 10 practices this summer. So that allows us to really look at film and see who is doing the things that we are asking them to do, and who's helping their teams win. Everything we do every day is competitive. Whose teams are winning? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
I was just talking to McKinnon. He said it's really competitive out there today. I mean, they were keeping score in their minds. They're keeping track of who was on a winning team, how many times. Is that fun to see?
It is fun to see, and that's the way it should be. Because it's a competitive world we live in, and college basketball is the epitome of that. That's for sure.
Hey, getting back to the schedule, correct me if I have this wrong, but I
Yep.
believe it's a new thing this year where travel days cannot be considered off days.
Yes. Yes.
Does that affect your schedule? I know you're taking a couple guys to San Fran next week, for instance.
Yeah, I bet it does. Like, for example, I noticed North Carolina Duke's not taking.
Yeah,
to their guys.
exactly.
I think they're trying to send a statement, but like, for example, next Thursday's a day off for our team, but it's not a day off for Torrey Miller or for George King because they're going with us. So the off days are really counted individually.
Okay.
So the rest of our team gets a day off. They get, check mark in that column. But those two kids don't get a day off. So at some point down the road, they're going to have to get a day off.
Yeah, so do you have to do that week sometime?
No.
Do they have to sit?
No.
Okay.
It's just for the year.
Okay.
For the year, because there's so these new time demands that are in quote unquote the best interest of the student athlete. We have to deal with. We have to track them. We have to record them. So there's a lot of new. I mean, they put that rule in, and now it's a lot more paperwork for us. A lot more things that we have to think about rather than just, hey, that's a day off for the rest of the team. But they want to make sure those two guys get a day off some point down the road.
So basically you have to keep track of that for George and Tori, and
Correct.
use that day off whenever.
Whenever.
You were talking about the grind a little bit
Yes.
of this season. You have so many freshmen. Academically, how have they adjusted so far through their first
Tyler
week?
Bay was Student Athlete of the Month, for our department. I just talked to him afterwards, congratulated him. We'll find out that answer when the grades come out in December. But it is this part of the year is one that things start coming down. We're not going 8 hours a week. Now we're going 20 hours a week. It's starting to get a little colder out. Midterms have come or are coming for some of these guys if they haven't already. Finals are on the horizon. So there's a lot of things that that kind of go into these guys' minds. But academically, from the reports I'm getting from Mindy, our coordinator, has been good. But it's kind of like the record at the end of the year. Like, that's all that matters. So the grades that come in December are all that matters.